Hey, it's Mark coming to you from Baker's Green Acres, sunny Baker's Green Acres. Today's the 19th of May, and my job today is to move chicks out of the brooder out into chicken tractors, and I'm working alone today. This kid's got something going on. Usually the kids help me with this, but this here's the brooder, this here. And I've showed you that, and this is an addition I put on it. It's just a little pen, and then we put it in a door so that when they're young, but we want them out in the sun during the day, we can get them to go back in at night. And at first they don't get that, but then these ones, last night they went in by themselves, and they've been doing that for the last couple nights. But today's the 19th. I made a video on the 15th, but I was unable to post it for some reason. But I was inside the brooder, and the wind was blowing like crazy. All the windows were shut, and my point was that starting birds this early in the season, at least this far north, can be precarious, because we had about 4 days that were bad. We actually got snow. So let's say that these guys that are about 3 weeks old were out on the field. It'd have been very bad. Even my bigger birds that are going to be processed tomorrow, so they're right around 9 weeks, I lost 4 of them. There they are right there. One of them's not quite lost yet. And it's a terrible thing, but that's part of the price that you pay starting birds this early, this far north. So I don't want anybody to think that it's just a breeze to do this. In anything that we do in farming, or anything else for that matter, we try to take every advantage that we possibly can. So for us to produce birds early means that we have a longer season, more birds, more income. That's why we do it. We're a commercial outfit. For somebody that's just going to do 1 or 2 tractors just for you and your neighbors or you and your family, I wouldn't start that early, because if you don't start early like that, you don't need all this specialized equipment. It may not seem specialized, but having a brooder that sits alone like this one does, and has its own fuel supply and its own water supply, that's kind of specialized. Now that I'll reload that 6 or 7 times, and we're finding now that a load of 400 early in the year is good. Maybe later in the year 500 will work. So we'll get quite a few reloads on that. All right, now here's where I am. I've moved 3 new chicken tractors over here. 1, 2, 3. See how we set them diagonally like that, and that's so I can minimize the space between them. Okay, very little space between them. That you're looking at is a cover that I haven't put on yet. I want to get these birds out as early as I can so that they can become accustomed to their environment while the sun's hitting them and there's a nice breeze and it's pleasant during the day, because for them tonight is going to be their first night in darkness, because our brooder has solar lights in it that keep it light in there for them. And there's a reason for that. It keeps them from getting scared. And if they don't get scared, they don't pile on each other, and they don't, they get up during the night and they eat too if they have light, so that's good. And then you don't have this, as soon as the first light comes, you don't have all these birds rushing the feeders and rushing the waterers. They're drinking, eating all night long, because they're babies and they have to maintain that all the time. Okay, so I've hooked up the waterer here. All right, and all these birds have gotten a drink, and now they're all sunning themselves. Now, a point to think about here is they're on fresh pasture. This is orchard grass, timothy, alfalfa, clover. There's a lot of dandelions out here. And then there's various weeds that I don't even know the name of, but they come up and you know, it's a hay field, so we cut this, bale it up, and feed it to the cows in the wintertime. But I also feed it to the pigs, and I feed it to the laying chickens too during the winter. But this mix of grass is what makes these birds so healthy and taste so good. And if it tastes good to your body, chances are, well, probably shouldn't make that statement because Cheetos taste good. I was going to say chances are it's probably good for you, but so that's probably not a good statement. But we know that the nutrient density on this field is high because we work at it. All right, now today's the 19th. Before I put these guys out, I looked at the calendar. I looked at the weather report because I need to know what's going to happen tonight, or I need to have a pretty good idea of what's going to happen tonight. You never know, but so I looked at it and it says it's supposed to be clear tonight. That can mean cold, but it's going to be clear and it's only going to go down to about 40. So I'm okay with that, and these guys are first completely feathered out, so they will be fine as well. If we were looking at rain tonight, I wouldn't put them out, because what they'll do is there'll be one or two of them that'll get in the corner, and then they'll all get in the corner if it starts to rain, because the rain will hit the top and it'll make noise, it'll scare them. They're already scared because they're out and it's dark, and it's going to make them more scared. And too many times, every year, I am getting up in the middle of the night to come out here and push chicks underneath. And if you get chicks that are wet in the morning, you don't want to come out. You just don't. And there's not much you can do when you have, well, there's 3 tractors here, 75 each. You can't bring them all in the house. You just can't. It's just not feasible to do it. So you want to prevent train crashes like that, and that's why we'll consult the weather and get a reasonable idea, of what's going to happen. Not that they're right all the time, because they're not. But you can't blame them. It's definitely on us if we have a whole bunch of chicks that die because we don't get paid for those. We're not working for somebody else. It's definitely on us. So I thought this was of interest. Remember, water is very important, extremely important. And I did make some discoveries today. I think I'd like to come back at you with another report on updates and changes to the water system that I'm using right now, because it just keeps getting better and better and better. But I find this quite joyful to come out here on a day like today, and I have birds that are happy and they're growing well, and my field is healthy, and everything is going the way it's supposed to. So I'm happy about that, and I want to share it. It's Mark from Baker's Green Acres. Remember, anyone can farm.